All eyes on the bilateral meeting between the ANC and its alliance partner, the SACP, today. SACP's decision to contest elections separately from the ANC tops the list of issues to tackle. The party's move to effect its Congress resolution to test its strength at the ballot box has generated a lot of political buzz. Also interesting to observe will be the clash of ideas over President Zuma's leadership and action against rebels in the ANC.
We welcome this opportunity to meet with the ANC because it's in line with our own resolutions that coming out of our Congress we said we are actually going to be consulting with a whole range of forces about our own decisions that we've taken, including the decision to contest elections in our own right. And we said we are also going to be consulting with the allies. So on our side, we are going to use this opportunity to share with the ANC the outcomes of our Congress broadly, not just on that one resolution.
Here are some of the issues that have brought the ties on the brink. SACP has been threatening to divorce the alliance come 2019's general elections. The party has called for President Jacob Zuma to step down. SACP even barred Zuma from attending its 14th Congress. SACP has also locked swords with ANC over their action on the MPs that voted in favor of the motion of no confidence. The ANC too minced no words on the matter, telling the SACP not to dictate terms. Another bone of contention has been SACP siding with Cyril Ramaphosa in the race to the ANC's presidential post. The backing has raised questions over the future of the alliance if Ramaphosa loses the contest.
I always ask one-sided question about Ramaphosa so that we say no against Ramaphosa and not others. So we feel that it's unfair that this question arises in this form all the time, and we don't want to speak to that particular point because it becomes like we are asked to demotivate the other candidates and not others. So the basic thing is that the ANC must decide on who it elects, and we will work with that particularly. And the party has never taken a decision that if so-and-so is not elected, we'll never work with the ANC. We'll work with any leader that comes out of the ANC processes.
The Congress of South African Trade Unions will hold its Central Executive Committee meeting today. The meeting will continue until Wednesday. One of the crucial deliberations will be on the SACP's proposed plan to contest elections on its own. The union will also discuss organizational, political and socio-economic issues affecting the working class.
It is a normal or an ordinary Central Executive Committee meeting of the Federation. It's looking into the organization, the state of the organization. We're going through difficult times at the moment as the organization. Our affiliates going through challenges. The issues we'll be looking at also would include our Section 77 applications at NEDLEC on the matters relating to state capture, relating to the retrenchments. We will look also into the state of the nation politically, what is happening in the country, the alliance issues. We'll look into the campaigns for the support of the Deputy President Cyril Ramaphosa to be succeeding President Zuma. We will also evaluate how much work our unions are doing in ensuring that that campaign is successful.
We're now joined by Cosatu Sizwe Pamla on this story. Sizwe, very good morning to you. What should we expect to be top of the agenda of your meeting today?
Well, look, the immediate priority for us really is the issue of job losses. And as a Federation of Workers, we are very much worried about the state of the economy. We will be looking deeper into how can we work with other social partners to really push back against the ongoing retrenchments and, of course, push to what we've been calling for, which is a job summit. This will also be an issue when we discuss socio-economic issues, where we'll be reflecting on the state of the economy and what are some of the interventions coming on the side of government. We'll be coming out with our own constructive proposals to see if we can't work with government and, of course, the big business to make sure that we all work together to kickstart the economy. Politically, the immediate priority for us really is to discuss the current state of the alliance. We are very much worried about where the alliance is. And of course, we will go back to the resolutions that were adopted by the Central Committee in May. Among those resolutions, there was an issue of the support for the Deputy President of the ANC to emerge as the President of the ANC in December. And of course, we'll go back to really revisit the decisions coming out of the ANC policy conference, including the outcomes of the SACP Congress. So politically, we have a number of issues that we'll be looking into, but also organizationally, we will be looking at the state of our own affiliates. There are affiliates who are doing quite very well. We are very happy with the progress that we've seen with some of the affiliates who have been on a recruitment spree. But also, we are looking at some of the affiliates, especially within the private sector, who are struggling. Some are struggling because of the economic situation, but some are struggling because of internal difficulties. So we will also be revisiting some of the decisions that we have taken and getting a report back on some of the processes that we put in place last time to ensure that we help those affiliates out of their difficulties.
Now, you say you'll also be discussing some of the resolutions from the two congresses, so to say, being the policy conference of the ANC as well as the SACP's Congress. Now, their proposed plan to test their political or electoral might, what do you make of that as COSATU at this point?
Well, look, we will allow workers to discuss these issues. When it comes to those, when it comes to the big decisions coming out of the policy conference, for example, those are the issues that can only be adopted by the ANC conference in December, including the positions they're taken by the SACP. COSATU will engage with those issues, but the CC does not have powers to resolve any of the big questions coming out of that Congress. Only the COSATU Congress, the 13th Congress that will be convened sometime next year, will really take a decision. But for now, we'll allow the affiliates to engage and be able to give us a sense of how they feel about these issues. And then we will allow this process to unfold until the 13th Congress of COSATU. But the CC meeting does not have the powers to really take some of the big decisions. Only a National Congress of COSATU is empowered to take those decisions. But the CC is a place where all of these issues will be debated so that we are able to reconcile the differing positions and make sure that we have a unifying position that will take to the 13th Congress of the Federation in 2018.
But would I be correct in saying that resolution from the SACP has a profound impact on the nature of your alliance going forward if they really were to take that route? Because now you'd be stuck in between two political parties as a Labour Federation. I mean, having to either lobby your members or convince your members to vote for the ANC or the SACP. So would you say it would have a profound impact on the Labour Federation?
Well, it will reconfigure. The alliance will be reconfigured in a major way. But it is the workers themselves who will have to take that decision. For us, it's something that, by the way, workers have raised sharply before to say the alliance is now. They are not convinced that it is really delivering for the workers and it is working at all. So that is an issue that was always going to happen. We ourselves have been raised this issue before, the issue of the reconfiguration of the alliance. So, but we will allow workers. We will not preempt as to what the workers are likely to say. But going forward, we foresee a situation where workers, after having thoroughly engaged and debated this issue, they will come to a decision what they think should happen going forward. For now, for us, is really to just allow the affiliates and the representatives of the workers and ensure that this debate is allowed to take place without any interference, so that workers themselves, as and when they reach that conclusion, we are able to then rally all of the COSATU members and the workers in general around that position. But of course, we have to acknowledge that that decision is going to reconfigure the alliance in a major way, and we look forward to how workers are going to interpret that decision.
Now, Sizwe, in closing, we can't ignore the biggest issue right now, the biggest conversation of the ANC's upcoming elective conference. Now, yesterday, COSATU and Limpopo had their event, and it seems they also endorsed Cyril Ramaphosa. Would we say that COSATU is unanimous across the provinces? You are all backing the Deputy President?
COSATU is unanimous across all provinces, across all of our affiliates, and across all of our members. This is a decision that was taken by the workers. One of the good things about the federation is that it is a mandate-driven federation. We were never going to take a decision if we didn't have a mandate, if workers did not discuss it amongst themselves and conclude on the name of their candidate. So for us, really, it is about ensuring that now we implement, with a few months that are left, we implement all of the campaigns, and we make sure that we solidify the campaign, and also we get a report back on how far have we done in terms of mobilizing and making sure that in all of the structures of the ANC we make our presence felt. But the Federation is very much united on this position. All of the affiliates of the Federation are behind this decision. All of the provinces are behind the decision.
Mr. Pamla, thank you very much for joining us. Hopefully we'll speak beyond the Central Executive Committee meeting after Wednesday.
You're welcome.